is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of Chairman Comer's resolution. As if free flights, free phones, free health care, free education, free lawyers, and other freebies being offered to illegal aliens weren't already enough, the D.C. City Council decided to now give illegal aliens the right to vote, a right that more than 1.1 million American military service members have given their lives for. Giving this right to illegal aliens as if our government is the Oprah Winfrey Show. You get a vote, you get a vote, you get a vote. It makes a mockery of the constitutional republic, of our brave heroes who fought and died for to defend. The right to vote is the most sacred right in our constitutional republic. Giving the right to vote to non-citizens cheapens this sacred right by discounting the value of citizens' votes. It also cheapens the value of American citizenship and cheapens our standing around the world as we incentivize the invasion of our own country. Under Biden's watch, over 4.6 million illegal aliens, and those are just the ones that we know of, have already crossed our wide open southern border that Secretary Mayorkas and Joe Biden refuse to secure, that Democrats could have done something about for the past 2 years when they held all levers of power and refused to do so. Well, by the end of the year, Biden will have let in more illegal aliens than the entire population of my state of Colorado. Instead of trying to secure the border, Democrats are more focused on giving illegal aliens more handouts and privileges, including giving them the right, the sacred right, to vote. These illegal aliens are even treated oftentimes better than our veterans, who are struggling to have their health needs met, to have health care, to get the services that we promise them for their great service. But it is immediately given to those who come across our southern border illegally. Let's put American citizens first, not cheapen their votes. Let's pass this legislation and ensure the voice of the American people is heard without interference from foreign nationals. I urge support of the underlying bill, and Mr. Speaker, I yield back to the gentleman.
I thank the ranking member and my colleague from Maryland. You know, it is rich, so rich to hear the other side discuss the sacred right of voting, discuss what our veterans and our service members fought for in the sacred right of voting, while defending and continuing to defend the disenfranchisement of American citizens in D.C. for their right to vote. They don't believe in statehood. They don't believe in the actual enfranchisement and voting rights for D.C. residents who are U.S. citizens, and yet they have the audacity and the gall to not just continue in that position and claim they believe in the sacred right to vote while denying that right to vote for an overwhelmingly black city, but then expanding their position so that in direct contradiction of their quote-unquote conservative values of small government and defending freedom have decided to expand the jurisdiction of this body to meddle into the business of D.C. residents. The D.C. City Council has the right to determine its policies for D.C. residents. And if any member of this body does not like that, they can feel free to change their registration, resign their post, and run for D.C. City Council. And for those who are residents here of Washington, D.C., they could have, as the ranking member stated, gone to any one of the many hearings on this issue. I understand that there may be disagreement. I understand that Republicans may not be happy with what the D.C. City Council is doing. But when cities in Vermont passed the same provisions, when San Francisco, when 9 Maryland cities brought up this provision, did the Republican Party corral all of Congress and bring this issue down to the floor for a vote? No, they did not. They are singling out the residents of the District of Columbia and expanding in the history of disenfranchisement that goes all the way back to the legacy of slavery, And they're bringing it right here to this floor because why? They don't have any real bills to debate. We're not here to talk about health care. We're not here to talk about abortion. We're not here to talk about voting rights. We're here to talk about the expansion and the continued subjugation and disenfranchisement of the people of the District of Columbia. Let them govern themselves. And with that, I yield back to the ranking member.
Gentlewoman from Colorado is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to speak in response to some of the opposition that I've heard to this legislation. First of all, we've heard about slave trade multiple times this evening. And if we're concerned about slave trade, well, then let's secure the southern border, because that's where the human trafficking is taking place. And millions of people are being trafficked, and women and children are being sexually assaulted and abused. Young girls are taking Plan B pills at the start of their journey because they anticipate being sexually assaulted on their journey. So if this is something that you are that concerned about, then let's work together to secure the southern border and stop the human trafficking and the slave trade that is happening there. There's slavery that's taking place in China in the cobalt mines that these climate extremists are pushing. There's child and slave labor there, and that's where we're extracting our rare earth minerals from China-owned mines in the Congo. So let's talk together about American energy. You know, you say that this is just for local elections. Are there 2 registries? Well, how is that going to work if there are 2 registries? But I don't think it's going to stop there because every time we give in and give an inch, well, they take 7 miles. And the gentleman on the other side of the aisle, he mentioned that in Colorado, illegal aliens are voting. Well, illegal aliens are voting, but no state has actually allowed that since 1926 in America. There are loopholes that are allowing illegals to vote in our election, and this is election interference, allowing non-citizens to vote in our elections. And in fact, this is why crime rate is up in Colorado. We are encouraging illegal aliens to come to Colorado. We are number 1 in the nation for bank robberies, number 1 in the nation for auto thefts, number 2 in the nation for fentanyl poisoning. We have a Department of New Americans. And if you go to the Colorado State website, it says, well, what is a new American? A new American is a Coloradan. May I have another minute?
I yield 1 minute.
Gentlewoman from Colorado is recognized.
Thank you. What is a new American? A new American is a Coloradan, an immigrant seeking asylum, a refugee, asylee, a DACA recipient, an SIV holder, and all other forms of immigrants seeking safety, opportunity, reunification of family, chain migration being encouraged in my state where non-citizens are voting and making a difference in our elections. Now, if there's a better way to do so, then let's let the DC County reevaluate this. That's why we're sending it back to them. And I would say that statehood is a matter that Congress has to consider on behalf of the entire nation and pursue a constitutional amendment if so desired. Congress dealt with this issue in both the 116th and 117th Congress and rejected the idea. Congress has jurisdiction over DC, and we need to ensure a vibrant capital city. This act does the opposite. And so I would, again, encourage opposition to this bill. I yield back.